We've come now to the part of the program devoted to our sponsor, Pinnacle Property Solutions. I want to tell you that I'm very grateful to have this organization and these wonderful people connected with it to help pick up the cost of our seminars, and also to bring to the fore what I consider to be an investment opportunity that's well worth your consideration. To tell you that I met Mr. Rusty Shields, who is the CEO of the company. Some years ago, I think he might have mentioned how he met me, and I had forgotten that, but maybe he'll mention it again. But I remember Rusty, well, the first time I really got a focus on him is when I went back to his headquarters in North Carolina. He had a place in Hickory, and they had a place there. He was trading stocks, I guess they were indexes. And I've never seen a trading shop before. I don't know how many of you have, but it was a fairly big room, and there were a couple of people in there sitting at a big table. It kind of looked like a console for a television studio. You've seen pictures where they got all these monitors on the wall, and then levers and switches and keyboards and all this sort of thing. Kind of looked like that. They were looking at television sets and computer monitors. There were 4 or 5 of them around there. Watching them very intently, watching the ticker from the stock transactions from the New York Stock Exchange. They were watching news programs, and I thought, what is going on here? And Rusty explained to me that they were following the trends, and they knew that from experience there were certain signals that usually were followed by trading patterns, and that if you could get ahead of the patterns, if you could spot the signals and get ahead of the patterns before everybody else did, that you could make a little bit of money or a little percentage of money on a large volume, and you could do very well over a period of time. You know, these guys never sleep. They go all night long watching these things. And he said, watch, there's a news flash that just came on. They announced something on the news, on network news. And he said, now watch, in about 3 minutes or less, you're going to see a little blip over here where people are buying this stock. I said, really? And he said, but we'll be ahead of them. And so sure enough, about 2.5 minutes later, the blip came right up. He says, aha, we made some money. And but that's what this guy did in those days. Of course, he got something entirely different now, and it's something that I consider to be very beneficial to society. Not only a means of making some money for investors, but of helping the people who are involved in other areas of the proposition. He'll tell you all about that. I just want to tell you that I'm grateful to have them part of our seminar. I went out there and I checked their new operation. I met their staff. I was very impressed by their professionalism and by their integrity, and I just feel good about being associated with them. So, Rusty, would you please come up and take over this microphone? And if you promise not to tell any jokes, it's all yours. All right. Thank you. Here's Rusty Shields. You guys out there? Good afternoon. That's a little better. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
A little rough? That's better? All right. Well, thank you for being here. Have you enjoyed Mr. Griffin so far?
Yeah.
Got a lot of neat stuff to talk about in the afternoon. I'm sure you will enjoy. Again, I'm the principal of Pinnacle Property Solutions. So I'll take about an hour of your time today and tell you about our program and what we do, and how it fits right in with what Ed is doing. I'm going to give you a quick rundown on our product, and then I'll go through and explain it point for point for you. The first point is that we have properties all over the country. We buy properties, again, foreclosed homes from banks, institutions, hedge funds, pension funds, consolidators, auction houses, wherever we can get them cheap. So we're looking for the good deal, the great deal, the unbelievable deal. That's what we buy. So don't make it too much about real estate, for those real estate folks in the crowd, because it's a lot different than traditional real estate. A lot. And I'm going to show you a lot of those
as we go through the presentation. But it is, nonetheless, single-family residences at the most part, for the most part. So it is homes. People do live in them. It is about real estate. But at Pinnacle, the difference is traditional real estate is traditionally about property. Would you agree with that? At Pinnacle, it's more about people. And how do you get mass numbers of people to call you? Well, you offer them a place to live. As we found, that works very well. A lot of people call you when they need a place to live. If you have a mass number of homes that people need to live in, because the funny thing about a house is everybody needs one. Everybody needs a place to live. In this environment, we are thriving, not surviving, where most traditional real estates are lucky, I would say, or blessed or fortunate to survive. We're actually thriving in this environment. So we do have properties all over the country. We have a limited supply of homes that we brought with us today. And we have a complete turnkey system. I would not stand up here and sell you houses for cheap, just to sell you houses for cheap. I think just about anybody could do that. Would you agree? Buy stuff in this environment cheap, turn around, mark it up a little bit, and sell it. That's not what we do. Not at all what we do. So again, we vary from traditional real estate. But we do offer, at Pinnacle, it's all about the system. It's all about the system. So we offer a complete turnkey system to take a property that has been discarded from a bank and turn it back into something that someone can live in, that they would enjoy living in. It gives them an opportunity and a hope for something that they would never have otherwise. So we create opportunity out of thin air, if you will. Just like the Federal Reserve creates money, we create opportunity right out of thin air, just like that. And every house we have, again, here's the other point, is $24,900. This thing on? $24,900. Every house we have, regardless of which one it is, how many bedrooms it has, how many bathrooms it has, where it's located, what side of the street it's on, what it's made out of, they're all the same price. It further goes to show you, which I'm going to talk to you about for the next hour, it's about our system and not about our property. Okay? So we have to agree on that step going in. You're going to have to take all your traditional real estate thoughts really and set them to the side for a moment, because I don't know if you know this or not, but that's not working too well right now. So it would probably be suicidal for our company to stand up and try to sell real estate in this real estate environment. Would you agree? Traditional real estate, not doing so well right now. So every house we have is $24,900. It comes with a turnkey system, and we have limited quantities available. Now, let me talk about our charity. Almost 8 years ago, I founded a nonprofit called the Shield Foundation. And that nonprofit 501c3 public charity, which we got approved from the federal government, what it did in its inception was give away funds to different people in need, ministries in need, organizations in need, as we had it. But our strong suit as a startup charity, as you know, is not loaded with cash. So my wife and I are very fortunate and consider ourselves very blessed to have what we do have, and we made it a point to give away some of our funds. But the biggest point that we started to help folks was through budget counseling. We would teach families how to get debt-free, including paying off their home in 7 years and 2 months was the average. So we did this. I did this personally with over 1,000 couples over a period of about 5 years. I had counselors under us who became counseling coordinators in our area. And we traveled all over the country teaching people how to get debt free. And recently, what we've done in the last few years is Pinnacle Property Solutions, which is our company. And so we moved away from that for a season to teach people how to get debt free and focused on the business again. Because I don't know if you know this or not, we were talking about this last night, Ed, but if you have money, things go a lot easier. I don't know if y'all guys know that or not, but it's true in your personal life, it's true in your business life, it's true in your nonprofit especially. You can't help a lot of people. The best of ideas won't help a lot of people without cash. You need cash. And so we focused for the last several years with Pinnacle Property Solutions, and that's a company that gets to help a lot of people through housing. I think I'm going to show that to you and you'll enjoy it. But what it also did was put us in a very specific situation. We buy houses, single-family residences, from banks really, really cheap. Therefore, we can donate them as a company to our nonprofit and give them away.